everyone, it's the Vigilante. So for today's video, it's going to be the Minecraft movie review. Now at first I was not going to go watch it, but I had people sitting there saying, Vigilante, you have to go watch it. Listen, I can't watch every new movie that comes out anymore. I used to, but now I cannot because I just don't have the time. I have 2 YouTube channels that I do, and I got a regular 9-to-5 job. I do not have the time, but I did go out and see this movie because everyone kept telling me to, so fine. Here it is. Here is my opinion of this movie. This movie is an absolutely terrible movie, but very entertaining. If you love the over-the-top Jack Black funny antics and the over-the-top of Jason Momoa, you will like this movie. Overall, I think everybody's going to like Jason Momoa, but unfortunately, I do not think everyone's going to love Jack Black. But you know, I'm going to sit there and I want to hear what Critical Drinker has to say about it. Now, I will sit there and say, the one thing I do find funny, now Critical Drinker doesn't really sit there and mention about the whole race swapping thing. I don't remember ever hearing them. You know, when it comes to Snow White, when it comes to the Captain America Winter Soldier, but Captain America Brave New World, he never once mentioned the whole race thing, so I can't say his opinion. But other people like Eddie TV, yes you sat there, heavily criticized Assassin's Creed Shadows, heavily criticized Snow White. Now I don't know if you criticized Captain America, but I'm assuming that you did. But you heavily criticized for the race swapping. But when it comes to Minecraft, even though I can tell you were joking inside the review, you never once complained about the race swapping. So it leads me to believe that race swapping is okay as long as this a white person race swapping. So as long as they take away someone that's not white and put it in there as white, then it's okay. Oh, whoopity-doo. So okay. No, I personally do not care about race swapping because in my opinion, the race of the person doesn't really mean the movie's gonna be good or not. All I care about is good acting. So I want a person who can act good and will make the movie good. Now, do I think Jack Black makes the movie good? Yes, I do. Do I think that we could have found another black person because Steve is originally a black person inside the video games? Do I think we could have found someone who was black that could have done a better job than Jack Black? Absolutely. Because Jack Black can really, you know, you're an amazing voice actor. I will give you that one. I loved you in Kung Fu Panda. But when it comes to actually acting, you can really only do one role. We all know this. And no, I have never played Minecraft, nor do I want to. So I am coming in this as a non-Minecraft person. So let's get into Critical Drinker's review.
A camel is nothing but a horse designed by committee, and funnily enough, that was the first thing that popped into my mind after watching the Minecraft movie. It's what happens when a bunch of people with seemingly no creative impulses in their entire bodies are asked to come up with a generic comedy adventure flick to take advantage of the growing video game adaptation trend and milk a popular IP that they're only vaguely familiar with, while also trying to tick as many corporate mandated boxes as humanly possible. What you end up with is an absolutely forgettable movie that does nothing but function as a 2-hour commercial for the game, starring a bunch of bored-looking actors who probably spent 90% of the shoot standing in a big green room with no idea what they were supposed to be reacting to, loaded down with jokes that aren't funny, too many characters that have nothing to do, and the most paper-thin excuse for a plot that I've seen since Borderlands. Minecraft is where filmmaking and imagination goes to die. The logical endpoint of lazy, IP-exploiting Hollywood executives who are driven entirely by numbers and statistics. A film that was made purely out of necessity, with nothing even resembling passion or interest from anyone involved. Let's get this one over with quick because Minecraft deserves nothing better.
Now, everything he says about this movie so far is very true. I will honestly, after I do this video, I probably will forget about it and never think about this movie ever again. I will not be sitting there buying this movie when it comes out on DVD. There is no way. I will not even watch it on the streaming because I do not care about this movie because I'm not a Minecraft fan. The only people that are really going to love this movie are Minecraft people. If you love Minecraft, you spent hundreds of hours in the Minecraft world, you will like this movie because it's definitely a fan service to the Minecraft fans. This movie is not going to bring new fans to the series. At least I don't think it will. Actually, you never know. It might actually bring some new fans to the series. But never was into Minecraft. I remember the first time I ever saw it, I'm like, why the heck would I want to play this? Just not my thing. I'm not into it. Other people are. I have a friend who loves Minecraft. But you know, he sits there and brings up Borderlands. I would rather sit through the Borderlands movie than sit through this. Okay, I actually did not mind the Borderlands movie. Okay, yeah, it had a lot of problems. I hated the cast that they picked, but overall, I actually did not mind it. I actually liked the person who played Tiny Tina. I thought she did a good job. I know many people sit there and do not like it, even though it's funny, that Tiny Tina, I believe, is Jason Momoa's daughter.
The movie stars Jack Black as Steve, a guy who quits his dead-end job to mine for treasure and adventure. No, wait, actually it stars Jason Momoa as Garrett, a washed-up 80s video game protege. No, wait, actually it stars Sebastian Hansen as some kid who moves to a new town with his sister and finds a portal into another world. You serious? Yeah, in case you hadn't noticed, the script's a bit confused about who the main character's even supposed to be. Conventional wisdom would suggest it should be Steve, since he's the protagonist of the games and everything, but I guess at some point the studio realised that no one under the age of 30 knows or cares who Jack Black is, so they brought in Jason Momoa, who's younger and cooler, to play a big beefy jock-type character. And I guess maybe the story was gonna have the two of them joining forces to take on the bad guys or something. But then some corporate suit decided that the movie would test better with children if they had a kid as the main character, and so Henry was written into the story with no particular arc or personality in mind. And then the chief diversity officer decided they needed more representation, so they threw in a random black lady who has absolutely no reason to be there and contributes nothing to the story.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, they wouldn't have had to add a random black person to the movie just to check off a box. The thing is, Steve himself is a black person. In the game, he is a black person. But all those people that threw a fit over Captain America, threw a fit over Snow White, threw a fit over Assassin's Creed, where are all those people who sat there and threw a fit about the race swapping in those? But when it comes to this movie, oh, it's all quiet. All the people were quiet. Now all the people that were defending the race swap in the other one, then they started complaining about the race swapping in this one. You all need to start being consistent. It's either you're for it or you're not. There is no in between. You need to pick a side.
Fuck. Great work, guys. Be sure to give yourselves an extra large bonus this year. Anyway, the plot, such as it is, unfolds thusly. Steve finds a magical bullshit crystal that opens a portal to the world of Minecraft, but then accidentally discovers an evil underworld inhabited by an army of evil pigs, who imprison him, but not before he gives the crystal to his dog, who escapes back through the portal into the real world and hides it. The crystal eventually falls into the hands of Garrett, who tries to sell it in his video game store, before Henry takes it and uses it to cross over into the world of Minecraft too. Oh yeah, and somehow Garrett, Henry's sister, and some random black lady also get pulled in with them. But oh no, the crystal gets damaged, so they have to find a replacement. But the evil pig lady wants it for herself so she can take over the world or something, so she releases Steve on the promise that he'll get it and bring it back to her. So naturally Steve immediately betrays her and joins the gang, because why the fuck wouldn't he? And together they work to defeat the evil pig army, open the portal back to the real world, and go home. And I know it probably seems like I'm speedrunning through the plot on this one, but honestly, I'm not, because basically fuck all happens in this movie. It's the same basic bitch template you've seen in a dozen other films just like it, and it does absolutely nothing new or unexpected at any point.
He isn't joking. That's exactly the plot of the movie. He did not miss any single key part of the movie. That is literally the plot. That's, you know, the plot was bad. The writing was bad. Was it entertaining? Absolutely. Did it have some funny moments? Absolutely. I guarantee you, even if the kid's not okay, I take this back. The only people that are gonna like this movie are people who are Minecraft fans and children. You take like a 5, 6, 7-year-old kid to this movie, I guarantee you it's gonna make them happy for 2 hours. I promise you. But if you want them to see an actual good movie that you're both going to enjoy, take them to go see Sonic. Any of the 3 Sonic movies are all 3 good.
A kind of half-hearted attempt to emulate the moral messaging of the Lego movie, the conflict between the chaotic, messy creativity and the crushing conformity of order and control, but it's so loosely explored and easily forgotten that it never really makes an impression. The evil pig queen lady, whose name I can't even be bothered to look up, is by far the weakest villain I've ever seen in a film like this, voiced by an absolutely dreadful actress who sounds like she's reading her lines off a teleprompter with no idea of the context or meaning behind them. Jack Black plays a loud, shouty, obnoxious moron who's trying so hard to be funny you can practically see him sweating with the effort. So basically every Jack Black movie these days then. The rest of the cast are mostly forgettable. Henry makes no impression as the protagonist, his sister isn't developed enough to care about, and although random black lady isn't nearly as annoying as you might think from the trailer, she really doesn't have much reason to be there either. The script has no idea what to do with her, she's just kind of there in the background most of the time. Jason Momoa is the only positive of the film, if you can call it that. What few laughs there are come mostly from him, and although he doesn't look like he wants to be there much, he's at least got enough charisma and comic timing to make you crack a smile once in a while. Honestly, if you've got really young kids that are big fans of the game and not inclined to think too much about what's actually happening, there's probably just enough here to keep them happy. But anyone with a mental age in double digits is absolutely going to struggle with this one. And the funny thing is, none of this really matters. Minecraft is such a massive IP that this film's probably going to rake in $1 billion, and nobody is going to remember it 5 minutes after it leaves theaters.
No, I don't care that they put a random black lady in there. They wouldn't have had to if they would have put the correct person for Steve, but they didn't. So, but you know, the problem is that I wish that just would have been an attractive woman. I like seeing attractive women. I don't like looking at unattractive. I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but the average person, generally, when it comes to beauty, it is generally the same for most people. Okay? And I just don't find her that attractive. Now, if she would have been an attractive woman, would have made it even better, because I like seeing attractive women, not ugly women. Now, when it comes to this movie making a lot of money, when people sit there and say, oh, woke stuff does not make money, look at this movie. This movie is full of wokeness. It has race swapping. It has, you literally have a look like a manly man like Jason Momoa wearing fingernail polish. Okay. And it's just a woke movie in general. Everyone can tell. But you know what? It's still going to make a lot of money. Now, $1 billion? I don't know. Okay. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Well, Minecraft might be that popular, but no. I would honestly rather go sit through Dragon Ball Evolution than watching this, and we all know how terrible of a movie that was. Well, that's it for my reaction. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me or not. Please like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay vigilant.